So now we're going to look at solving absolute value equations. So an absolute value equation is one that has the x inside of the absolute value. So we want to have a plan to come up with the right solution. So we will first isolate the absolute value. So remember what that means to isolate. That means to step by step remove anything that's outside, so outside of the absolute value, using reverse PEMDAS to the other side. So we're going to do that first. So isolate, get the absolute value alone. Then we're going to undo the absolute value, and we're going to learn what that means to undo the absolute value as we go, setting what is inside, so inside the absolute value, equal to both the positive and the negative, because we know that absolute value means the distance from 0. So we know the distance can be either a number to the right, which is positive, or a number to the left, which is negative. So we will take the inside and say it either could be the positive direction or it could be the negative direction. So a special case in this last sentence right here, if the value is negative before you undo the absolute value, there is no solution. So if the right side is negative, we know that the distance cannot be negative. So we know that there's some kind of a special case that's happening. So let's go through some examples using this. All right, so example A, absolute value of x minus 3 is equal to -1. We can see our absolute value right here. We are going to now need to move the 3, which is outside of the absolute value. So we're going to remove it by adding 3 to both sides. And when we do, we're going to come up with that the absolute value of x is equal to 2. So the absolute value is not now isolated, so we're going to undo it. So we're going to come and we're going to say what's inside, which is the x, is either equal to a positive 2 or x is going to be equal to a -2. And that will be our solution. On a number line, we'd have a 2, -2, and those would be my solutions there. So moving down the left side, we're going to do example B, which is a little bit more complicated. We've got the absolute value right here. And I need to remove the 7 and the -2. Now, number one, I cannot distribute into an absolute value. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but so you can't do it since it doesn't work all the time. The second comment is I cannot subtract 7 subtract 2. So kind of a little star here. Cannot subtract 7 minus 2. And the reason? PEMDAS. I would need to multiply my 2 first before I could subtract the 7 or subtract it from 7. So because of PEMDAS, I've got my hands held tight, and I cannot subtract 7 minus 2. So instead, I'm going to have to undo it with reverse PEMDAS, which means that I have to remove the 7 first because it's added on, whereas the 2 was multiplied on. So I'm going to subtract the 7. Order is important, and that's going to give me a 0 there. Then I'm left with -2, absolute value x minus 5 equals -6. All right, still need to remove the 2, but now I can remove the 2 by dividing by -2 on both sides. And that's going to leave me with the absolute value of x minus 5 is equal to -6 divided by -2 is 3. Once I have the absolute value isolated, I'm going to undo the absolute value and take what's inside x minus 5 and say that it's either positive or x minus 5 is going to be negative. Now I want you to take note on all these examples. Notice that I did not change the inside at all. it's exactly the same. There's no sign change there. So the x minus 5, what's inside stays the same. What changes is that my distance could either be 3 to the right or it can be 3 to the left. So positive 3 or negative 3. So once I get here, I'm ready to solve. So I will plus 5, and I'm going to get that x is equal to 8. And over here, I'm going to plus 5, and I'm going to come up with that x is equal to 2. So my answers then are going to be 2 and 8. Now there's going to be a little bit of a change on my video check. I want you to do examples on this page. So when you look at it, you're going to see that you're going to be doing B and D, I believe, on this page. And when I get to the next group, you're going to be doing something at the bottom of that page. So I know this is not an easy concept. Lean into that discomfort and just give these a try, and we'll talk about it in class next time. So one more video after this. You know, I want to say one more thing and stop, and I'm going to keep going. I want to go ahead and add over here and just put that second star and say can not distribute the negative 2 through